Activate. Clicks. Clicks. Clicks.
With Luke here at Upper Deck Entertainment, and Luke, you got a couple of interesting things going on here. You got a couple of good interesting card games happening, including the new one, the World of Warcraft card game.
Yep, that's right. We're doing free demonstrations for the World of Warcraft card game today. Learn to play for free, get a free deck for doing so. Yeah.
Now, I've seen plenty of times I've seen the game. Yep. I don't like the idea of the game. You've got to pay per month to play the game. I've said it enough times in the podcast. What does the card game have to do with the computer game?
Well, what they've done is they essentially have a card game which is its own game to itself, right? And you play as a hero, but it borrows the same universe as the World of Warcraft video game, but it's a card game in itself. So it plays completely differently, but a lot of the themes are familiar. Like you play as a paladin or you play as a rogue. You can play for Horde or Alliance. There's all that kind of stuff. You collect equipment, but the interaction between the game itself, the game itself is completely different. But that said, there are special cards you can get which give you like funky things in the game. Like you can get a special pets and special mounts for the video game itself. So it's a bit of a hook there for the non-gamers who want to play, or the non-card gamers to get into it. So
it's sort of a crossover. Then you can then do stuff with either one and get benefits.
Definitely a crossover appeal. There's a lot of people today have actually strange enough, a lot of girls today have gotten into card games, and they walk up and they ask us about it, and I'm like, what are you guys doing here? You're girls? And they're like, no, I have level 60 shamans, I have a level 60. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and they want to play. It's exciting. It's good stuff, though. Now,
that's just one of the card games you got. He got also Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been around for nearly a long time now, yeah. Please let it die sometime soon. But you've also got a Marvel one here.
There's another card game called Versus. It's called Versus System. It's a Marvel. It uses Marvel and DC characters in it, and they work together in the which is actually quite unique in itself.
Is it actually licensed by both of them?
Yes. It's like it is a Marvel sets and DC sets, but they have the same card back. You can mix it all together, so you can have Superman and Hulk, Batman and Spider-Man, etc., etc. It's very funky. A lot of flavor in it. They get a lot of top artists to do a lot of cards for it. Alex Ross do cards. Neil Adams came back to do cards. Mike McDonald did some cards. It's very cool. And I play that personally. I'm a big fan.
Okay, now I've never played a card game for my life. Can I, if I have a little game here, would I be able to go away and be able to possibly win against somebody else?
Sure. Like the things are like I've got a team here of seasoned gaming professionals essentially. Like no one here works for Upper Deck specifically, but most of us are actually people who play the games, and we've been asked to volunteer today or will help today. Whereas Julia, she plays Versus in Brisbane. James plays WoW and Versus in Sydney. Paul Ross is a judge, pro-level judge. Like we all just like the games. That's why if you learn today, within your luck, you won't just learn the basics, but you'll like appreciate the kind of the enjoyment they get from it. Kind of feed off that, just have a bit of fun. That's all. Because it's something we love, and we'd like other people to like it as well. What can I say? There's no hard sell here. Like we don't need this to put shirts on our backs, so it's okay. But no, there you go.
Oh, I've got to say, World of Warcraft was just released a couple of days ago, you said?
Yeah, World of Warcraft actually came out on Tuesday.
And already here you can play it and try and get your backside kicked by some people here.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Try and beat someone up. It's like, it's perfectly legal. Yeah, right. It's legit, and it's a lot of hype around it. It's sold out completely in the States. The fact that we have it is actually a bit of a miracle in itself, because just you can't get it. It wouldn't shock me if this stuff sold out by the end of the week. And there probably won't be more for quite a while by the looks of it, because as we do a second print run, which is quite insane to be that popular for a new card game.
Especially just for the first little while now. Yu-Gi-Oh is sold out and keeps on new cards every 2 weeks pretty much for Yu-Gi-Oh.
There's always a new Yu-Gi-Oh set coming out. But the thing is, Yu-Gi-Oh is insanely popular. Like a lot of kids play it. Like there's a lot of cards, but the kids wouldn't want it any other way. So yeah, that's cool with them. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, so I can't comment. But look, no one complains about Yu-Gi-Oh, so that sounds good enough to me. Okay.
Now, how much actually, Yu-Gi-Oh, a reasonably cheap card game Yu-Gi-Oh to try and get into. What about World of Warcraft and Versus? What are they like for the price?
Well, I'd say it all depends on the level of involvement in the game. Well, all these games to make legal decks, like a 60-card deck, it's usually very straightforward. Usually buy a starter deck, crack a few packs, trade with your mates. Trading's a big part of these kind of games, where it just allows you to get the kind of proper cards for your deck. And then you can probably play, to make legal decks, it's easy. To make tournament-winning decks, it will probably involves a fair amount of time as far as testing and getting the cards. But if it's something you love, it's something you don't even notice. You know, like, if you want to play with your mates, anyone can play. If you want to go and take down the big tournaments, take down the big numbers, then, like, obviously a bit more work involved. But, like, it's like, James, myself, we've traveled overseas to play. We went to Amsterdam to play cards, and we did reasonably well over there. Like, it's something we love, so we'll pursue that, yeah.
Now, the big one, the World of Warcraft players worldwide, there are over 7 million of them now. Are there any rare cards possibly for that might sort of mix real well with the game and help you out a little bit with either one of them?
Well, there are items you can get that there is a there's this thing called loot cards, and they're essentially the ultra rares of the game. They're very hard to get, and when you get these loot cards, they come with a little scratchy code on them. You scratch it off, it gives you a unique number. You enter it onto your computer game character, and it gives you unique items that are exclusive to the card game. Okay, and one of them is there's a mount, which is a turtle. So rather than ride around on a horse, you ride on this turtle. It's still the same speed. This looks like a turtle. It's very cool. I was like, and that's a pretty good hook because it's not. There's no forcing people to get into it. You don't have to go, if you don't play this game, you won't get the best item. You won't get the killer sword. But if you go, look, I want something really funky, like this pet hippogriff or something like that, which is it looks cool and it's unique. It's like, well, there you go. It's a bit of icing, essentially. I think of it like it's like the trimmings to the fact that it's a good game, essentially. Like, just a bit of incentive.
So you can add to your World of Warcraft experience by playing the card game, getting the rare cards, getting extra little features, including a turtle to run on.
Yes, you ride a turtle around.
Very odd stuff. We're here at Supanova Sydney for Clicks 2006.